I feel a bit distraught at the moment. I just looked at the Barabbas video and I couldn't see me curls. I spent bloody 2 hours on it this morning under a curling iron. Oh well. Now Tracy was born in, that's my eldest daughter, was born in Port Alberni. I have an older daughter, by the way, Barbara, which I've never met. I'm waiting to meet her one day. I was 8,880 days old when Tracy was born in Port Alberni, and the sunlight was 888 minutes for that day. Her youngest stepsister, which of course is Rhiannon, who tells the children that I'm not the Lord, she is 11.626 years older, and Rhiannon is 2.127 years younger than Tracy's younger sister, Nicole, which is 777 days. Now, if you go from Rothschild Avenue, where I was born, to the farm at Harcourt, it's 444.3 miles. If you go from, which is 105 Rothschild Avenue, and the end of it is Harcourt Parade, so you now go to Harcourt, and the distance to Eagles Road North to Eagles Road South, when you go from north to 105, which is Eagle, back to Eagle Road South, so that's Eagles Road, is a distance of 888 miles. I've had Stephen Hawkins on the phone begging forgiveness as well. Now, yeah, right. He's a very odd fellow, you know. He holds the seat in Cambridge which was held by another lunatic, Isaac Newton, who had an apple fall on his head. Unfortunately, it should have been the tree. The seat is called the Odd Fellow's seat. So we've got 4443, which is how many times the word God is found in 3887 verses. The 7 names in 1 Chronicles 5:13, and there's 942 verses in 1 Chronicles. These 7 names average 4443. Times 7 is 31101. That's how many verses there are in the King James Bible. Put a 4 in front of it, 5 in front of it, and that's the Julian day that I was born. Embarrassing. Alright, so we've got all these wonderful numbers all zeroing in on the 888, the 11162, blah blah blah. And we've got the antechamber, which is 116.26 p inches wide, goes into the King's chamber. The distance from the grand, or for the grand gallery, which is like this, that distance there is 537.2. If you go from Nell Street down on the same longitude, and if you go from Rothschild Avenue down and across to Nell Street, that distance there is 537 as well in kilometres. So You then look at Revelation 13, 18, and it's got 600, 6. The numbers are 5516. I left a little trap for Janelle the other day. I said 5616, just to see if she's watching. 5516, 5516, 5516. In other words, 6666. Add them all together and you get 22064. Add that to the 11th of January 1944 and it gives you the transition of Venus across the face of the Sun on the June of 2004 on the 8th day. On that day we flew from Nell Street to Perth International Airport and the distance is 1694 miles and that is Emmanuel in Matthew 1:23, which has a total gematria of 8880 days, and it means God with us, 1694. If you put a 6 after it, that's the height of Mount Ararat. It's also the highest mountain in the New Guinea area and Indonesia. It's all one island, 16946 feet. I was 31.68 years old when New Guinea got its independence, and that is Lord Jesus Christ, and where I'm talking to you from, the distance around the Earth is 31680 kilometres, and the distance to the South Pole is 5813 kilometres, and that's the height of the finished pyramid with the missing and rejected capstone, which Christianity rejects the Lord when he comes back because he says fuck. And wasn't on a big horse. White horse means power. It's all codes, and people in the Christian world who are Bible bashing, Sunday, Lucifer worshipping churchgoers are more righteous than everybody else on earth, and they are right. They are absolutely right. That's what they say. So what I'm saying to you all is that the world is full of bullshit. The 6666 number is a sacred number. There are 6,666 verses in the KJV, 1611 only. After 1878 they changed it. They didn't tell anybody, they just changed it. It's supposed to be the King's Authorised Copy, but they changed it because they realised these numbers was a trap. It's Lucifer's Bible with a trap in it. In other words, Lucifer, give it your best shot and I'll come along and pull your balls off. If it had any. They'd already been pulled off in heaven, by the way. So, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth, 12:12, devil has come down to you. 12:12 plus 12:12 is 2424. Jesus. The big statue of Jesus in Rio is, to its top of its head, is 2424 feet. And the distance to this address here is 11888 degrees. When you measure long distance, you should do it in degrees. 11888. That is Psalms 11888. Rather, 8. The 8th word is Lord. Better to trust in the Lord than to trust in man. From my first wife's home, where she was conceived and born, to Rothschild Avenue, then down to Nell Street, is a distance of 777.7 kilometres. The distance from that same home to where we spent a great deal of time living in the house, the garage at the back of the house of my father's, the distance is 118.22 kilometres, and that's the rejected capstone.